Hello and welcome to our final round coverage of the Jonesboro Open presented by Play It Again Sports and powered by Prodigy. We are in Jonesboro, Arkansas, as we have been for the last 3 days, and you're watching the Disc Golf Pro Tour on JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
Thank you for watching. If you plan on watching more coverage this year, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. It really helps us out, and the subscribe button is really easy to find. In fact, it's right there.
Leading the way through 2 rounds, Calvin Heimburg, 2020 Jonesboro Open champion. He has been in the mix seemingly every Elite Series event this year. Paul McBeth, he is right there behind Calvin at 16 under. Awesome to see him battling back. Slow start, but it has been fire for him since that double bogey stretch, 5 and 6 first round. Kevin Jones also right there in the hunt. He is a couple back from Arkansas. How amazing would that be for Kevin Jones to come in here and win? And Alden Harris, even with the big score he took, his first over par score on hole 18 in round 2, still on lead card. And what a story that would be for young Alden Harris to come out here and shock the world with a big Elite Series win. What an amazing round of disc golf we have in front of you guys right now.
Wind is still up, a little bit of overcast skies, just a little threat of rain, tough conditions.
Not sure if that wind is worse than round 2, but at points it certainly seemed gustier. It really has never let up the entire weekend here in Jonesboro. Well, Calvin going with an overstable Halo Destroyer and does not get that turned over. That is a shockingly errant throw for Calvin. That's one of his strong suits.
Bad kick as well. Really went left. He's going to have to throw kind of a sharp hyzer, I think, to get out of there. He might have to go pretty high with it.
Did you guys see that interview with Paul after round 2? He said, "I'm sick and tired of playing good. I want to win." Well, I'm sick and tired of playing good too. And I was sick and tired of it back in 2018. That's why I haven't done it since then.
Fantastic shot from Paul. Let's see this again. This is just exactly how you want to play it. If you've got the kind of power that can reach this hole, keep it low, that little bit of drift. He's so far from any of those trees and slides it right up to the basket.
Absolute
Sick
perfection.
and tired of these park jobs.
Kevin Jones.
My name is Kevin Jones. I'm from Greenwood, Arkansas, and I've been playing disc golf for 13 years. I've been playing sports since I was the littlest kid. My dad's been a high school football coach my entire life. So I played football from 3rd grade up until the first year of college. I got a scholarship to play at Arkansas Tech University. I was a kicker. We had a pretty successful year. I think we were like 8-3, and we won a bowl game. So my story with disc golf goes like this. Up until I was about 15 years old, I was playing every day, possibly 3 times a day. It was just all my time, and I was truly addicted to it. At the age of 15, I got to 983 rated, which was the highest rated 15 and under in the world at one point. About the age of 15, I started playing pro, and I actually won a pro event. I won that tournament, and then I stopped playing disc golf for 3 years at least. When I say I didn't play for 3 years, I mean that I didn't think of disc golf one time for 3 years. I didn't know who was winning pro tournaments. I didn't know what discs were coming out, new players, like all of that. So when I got back into disc golf in college, that was my #1 goal, was to get back to the level that I was at when I was 15. That didn't take too long. I was improving at a really rapid rate because I had all the skills from the past. In 2022, I've been in the top 25 in every event, which is something to be proud about. So I wish I could be doing better, but here I am at Jonesboro in 3rd place, and I feel like I could win this one. When I come to this tournament, it's immediately different because I've got so many old connections here. I didn't live in this town, but the support from my fellow Arkansans is incredible. Feels just like it's home. It's definitely a home field advantage. My expectations for today are to put in a shredder round. A solid round's probably not gonna do it for me. I've got Paul McBeth and Calvin Heimburg ahead of me, so today is basically shred or nothing. Gotta play clean. I'm trying to birdie every hole. It's just one of those where I could see myself being in the lead and I could see myself going birdie on 16, birdie 17, and then just in control on 18, and I feel like I could win this one.
Kevin Jones has never won a standard Elite Series tournament when trailing going into the final round. So if he could rewrite history and become a winner here in Kansas, I think he has a case to change the name of this tournament to the Kevin Jonesboro Open.
I like that. I like that a lot.
In Arkansas. But
Yeah.
you sound very similar. You said Kansas, but Arkansas and Kansas.
That's what I meant to say.
Had me fooled. Just a spinny little flick of the wrist right down the middle.
That is a great drive. You get a chance to run for the birdie here on hole 1. That's great. Even if you don't get it.
Yeah, and
Stress-free.
And how low he kept it, it's just super safe.
That was a great approach.
Agreed. That's not as easy as he made it look against all
it's
that wind.
not. A little bit lower down the hill than it appeared from our catch cam, but Alden Harris will have a tap-in par. Kevin from pin high. And you can see that wind is going to be a factor. It's going to be a factor all day.
I honestly really think that today was more windy than yesterday. I think maybe yesterday it was sustained winds, you know, a little
Right.
more constant, but today the gusts
gusts
were
are
higher,
just-
and maybe that made it feel like the wind was down at some points. But coming up and down these hills, you just never knew. At one point, one of the players on my card sat there, the flag went left, straight, right, headwind, and then it went back to left where it was supposed to be. And we all looked at each other and we're like, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you want from me, dude? Like, I see the same thing you're seeing. McBeth is tied for the lead, folks.
I'm pretty sure that's how tornadoes are made.
It's gotta be, at one point, it's gotta start slow,
I
right?
think-
Everything starts somewhere.
I think I was getting scared.
Hole 2, par 4. I'm with you, Nate. These overhead shots are just beautiful to really be able to see the hole in its entirety in a way that we've never been able to see or prepare for the hole. But you can really see the shape of this long hole. You just can't really see the undulations of the hills, which are just pretty intense. Tee shot downhill, second shot uphill. The play is to make sure you get out of that sludge in the middle. And looks like Paul has put himself in the ideal position.
Oh, that's just absolutely perfect. It's going to open up that gap on the right as well, so he doesn't have to throw that low ceiling flex shot, which is super hard to throw, especially in a windy day like this. As soon as it turns over, it gets slammed to the ground.
The ease in which this shot is thrown by Calvin and Paul, to get the distance and fight the wind, all the things that they're doing at once, it's wonderful to watch.
There's aggressive line, but too flippy of a disc by a long shot because he threw that so high.
Oof.
With a little more stability, that would have been a huge drive. But even with that height, I'm pretty impressed that was able to flip and finish right. He's not going to be happy in there.
That tree is a birdie and even par killer. I mean, depending on where you are, par can be easy, but can also be unattainable.
Well, I mean, I think you need 250 feet out of there to really think
Yes.
about making par. And if you get really stuck.
Yeah. Now Kevin had a little pocket there. His forehand's got enough power. He should be fine.
Did that not just hit the ground right in front of him?
Oh, it did. Oh, goodness. So there you go. Right there on display how bad that tree can be.
I think he's going to have to go hyzer again, out and around like he did previous round.
Wow.
A little relief there for, this is beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, and it catches that little something Maybe cost him about 20 feet, but I mean, still the shape on that shot was fantastic. Now you can see that open up. He does go with the turnover low.
I love that play. Paul, man, he has showed up in the first 2 holes.
You could see the flag there was doing nothing as well.
Calvin, that's too
low.
low.
I just think Paul's looking great to go birdie on 1 and 2 in the wind. Like,
whoa.
You could give me quite a few tries
That
before
ain't
I would have
happening.
any kind of chance at that. That's pretty incredible in these conditions.
Wow, great approach.
Yeah, it was.
Gives Kevin a chance to save that par. Calvin wanted no part of that. He's not really one to give floaty bids and try to make shots from down the fairway. But Alden looks like he's trying to be that kind of guy.
Pretty good effort.
What a scramble this would be if Kevin does collect the putt. That is a great 4, especially after the result of his second shot. That took some good work. But Paul here can take the lead in this event, folks. Man, this guy is just, he doesn't quit. Why won't he just quit? Sometimes. No, it's awesome to see that. It's been inspiring players since 2011. You know, before that even. He's turned pro in 2007 after he got second place at AM Worlds, and he's still doing it on the top level. Even when it looks like he's out of it, he's never out of it.
I mean, he was one of those, what was he, 16 years old on the lead card Memorial, Beatles haircut, just doing things that we've never seen before. Spin putts from 80 feet. I mean, I remember thinking, I've never even heard of this kid, and he's just whipping me on my home course.
And back at that time, you didn't like getting beat by somebody who just had literally just a mop on his head. He's like, this guy looked like he did not belong on the disc golf course. But he definitely belongs on the disc golf course.
I think he should bring it back.
I am not with you on that one.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you can book this one.
Okay.
We don't need to see that finish. I mean, that's flat. And he hasn't thrown very good shots on this hole so far. He's been right.
Well,
This time he makes the adjustment.
Yeah, statement. First 3, and we're going to give a big exclamation point here with a bullseye.
Oh, he's sick of being good, man. And right there, that's a great drive.
Yeah, I think his stomach's feeling a little better so far.
Calvin, par start. It'd be great to get on that board here now early, and it's going to take a long putt to do so. And, man.
We saw a lot of that exact play right there with this crosswind. Got over that ridge, and as soon as it turns over, it just got slammed.
Kevin
Like
really
this.
forcing
Kind
out
of
there.
like this. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Maybe a little jump putt, Jonesy.
Yeah, it's just outside the circle by a little bit. Alden, he's got to have a special day today. He needs to make sure he gets all these holes that are qualify as must get. I think hole 3 is one of those holes. It's right there in front of you. There's a lot of much harder holes on this course. He's got to do some special things early on if he wants to keep himself in the mix.
One thing you can do on this course that is on other course something that you might not be able to get away with and be on lead card. If you go bogey free on this course and you pick up 5-6 birdies, you're having a great round. Great round.
Sure.
Other courses, you go bogey free and you have like 7-8 birdies, not going to do you much at this level, especially to be on the lead card. I mean,
so for the 3rd consecutive hole, McBeth is going to gain a stroke on every single person on the lead card.
and almost in the field.
Went from a 1-stroke deficit to a 2-stroke lead in just the blink of an eye.
And it's just so deflating, I think, for the other guys on the card, because you just sort of feel like, all right, well, seen this movie a couple times. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's basically do or die at this point because he's showing you what he's going to do. So you got to start picking up birdies. These guys have played difficult holes. It's not like missing any of these holes is a huge disaster on their own. But if McBeth is going to be birdieing them, then you're going to have to do the same.
I'm willing to bet that there was nobody else to birdie all 3 of them. Hole 4, par 4, 660 feet. You're going to have a bunch of these out of bounds bunkers over here on the right side, which kind of makes the roller a little bit scary. People are going to be going low tunnel to that little post that we saw into a very fast green with out of bounds just to the left of it and behind it. McBeth might try that crazy flex play.
Yeah, I wonder with the wind up what these guys are going to do. It does look like he's lining it up, though. You're right, Paul. Seems clean for the time being.
Yeah, I think there's...
Oh, yeah, there it is. Merging down the fairway. Absolute lift off for Paul.
He isn't gonna have a complicated shot from there.
No, that's...
He might have a couple little buddies on him after he gets out of there, though. Whenever I see anybody going to the thick rough, I just am terrified of the Tick Palace. That was a great skip straight down the middle.
Yeah, it was.
That's a smart play. You can play that skip shot with that left to right crosswind, and it's probably not going to go that far left.
A little more severe with the Anheuser.
This is an insanely stable disc. I'm guessing it's
he looked like he was throwing a roller at first, but then, can't quite tell you guys what happened there because I don't quite know.
Roller again? Please? Yeah.
Look at the angle control. Knowing it's going to turn over late.
This needs to move, though.
Oh, it's moving.
Yeah, he got it again.
That's up there with Paul's drive. Alden Harris, man, he's out here showing some really good stuff this week.
That's really impressive because that wind was not easy to throw a flippy roller into.
Wow. I wonder how flippy the disc is. I mean, he put some pretty good move on that, but it didn't turn all the way over. It was, really nice shot. Speaking of nice shots, Calvin's finally going to get on the board with a birdie on hole 4.
We've talked about this green being very, very fast. It seems like it should be very easy, but anything that comes around there, distance control is a premium.
That wasn't great from McBeth.
Might have been obstructed, unable to see the pin from where he finished, but still thought he would have a little bit better of an approach.
Look at this buttery biscuit.
Something more a little bit like that.
Coming in soft.
And finally getting to Kevin's drive and seeing what he had left. Not much. So can Paul knock this down and start off with 4 in a row last round lead card? A little bit of a lift out of the hand, but that was the right line.
Better be glad that flag was there. That was heading straight to the OB.
Looks like Paul might give one back to everybody here.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Took 3 in a row and then finally roles reversed here on 4, but that's still 2 on the entire league card.
It's funny how this game works because I think Paul would agree with me if I said that shot that he just missed was the easiest shot he's attempted yet today.
Yeah.
And that sometimes that's the one that gets you. That's easier than anything he did on 1, 2, or 3, that forehand shot. But that's the one that got away, and then, you can't really blame the putt. It's the approach that was at fault there.
Hole 5, what a fantastic hole to have this early in the round. Risk reward par 3. Are these guys going for it? Are they playing safe for the easy 3? Calvin's got the go for it move on this one. And it's safe. Kevin going to give that the layup treatment. That'll be just fine. Somewhat similar to where we saw Ben Calloway throw his 2 in last year.
down before the woods. Should be no problem.
I wonder if he's as far as he was yesterday when he did a jump putt approach from there and nearly made it. First time really seeing Alden jump putt from over 100 feet.
Paul's not going to have any part of that layup game.
Oh, this looks perfect.
So good. Get in. Oh, no.
Oh.
No. That's not the purpose of those.
That is rough.
That is such a harsh break.
And I really think there's no way that happens on a normal pole.
No. It's just too skinny. There's no way that it's just going to square it up like that.
Now, we've all seen
Oh, that's such a bad break.
poles get hit and the disc roll, but they don't jump off like
No,
that.
It's not like it got shot with a little slingshot. It's just
And
flying.
it's not, you see that on like 300-foot holes. You don't see it on a 500-foot hole.
He says it's not an island, so
why would I go to the
you can't. Yeah. I'm trying to see over
He
here.
said you have to say provisional. I will say provisional in case it is safe.
So what they're talking about here, you need a waiver from the PDGA to have an island green and have a player forced to go to a drop zone and not do a normal OB where you would go to the last place it was inbounds. The TD of the tournament was not right here on hand, and Paul was questioning whether they had that waiver in place to allow for those rules. So he's playing a provisional here to try one from the drop,
Right.
and then move up and putt from the lie where the disc rolled to.
If they don't have that provisional, then Paul makes a good case. He would be able to move up and have the very short tap in. I don't want to say tap in, but the 25-footer for the circle par or the OB par.
That's just a horrible break.
I mean,
it really is.
and the rule says on this card, all OB goes to that drop zone. But I'm like on Team Paul here. Like, I do not feel like he should be punished so severely for one of the best shots we've ever seen in the hole, nearly an ace. That is a tough break. So I think he's going to still go ahead and play the provisional out, and then we're going to get a official ruling later on. But
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys don't have the ruling. We have the benefit of
Yes.
hindsight. I think we can go ahead and put this thing to bed and say that the waiver was in place, and that is going to be a 4
Correct.
for Paul McBeth. He won't know that until hole 10, I'm told.
Yes.
So if you want to kind of play along in the mind of Paul McBeth,
Then
he's
you
not
don't know-
sure
yeah.
if he's getting a 3 or a 4 until hole 10, but it is a 4, and we're going to proceed forward knowing that.
Now to another little stressful hole, hole 6. Just that island par 3, just over 300 feet, but the wind is doing stuff. As you could see with that one, he was expecting that to lift. It should have lifted.
It looked
Didn't.
good all the way till it got 3/4 of the way there.
so Calvin has the lead, loses the lead to 2 to McBeth. Kevin nearly skipping up and acing. Crazy ground play. Then Calvin ties McBeth back for the top of the lead, and then he goes out of bounds on 6. This is just a crazy back and forth. This is like a basketball game right now.
Look at this little dime. Go in. Sit.
Alden.
Sit.
Beautiful.
Nice shot.
Coming out on Anheuser right away to negate that crosswind. Keep it going straight and then letting the wind do the work. Beautiful.
He's impressed the 3 of us.
Whoa.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, 4 and 5 are destroying Paul McBeth.
Whoa.
5 and 6, excuse me. Remember, we saw the back-to-back doubles,
Round 1. Calvin, good looking run there.
and now we're looking back-to-back bogeys at best. Not that he deserved the last one, let's be
No,
honest,
that's
but
so unfair.
but he got it.
Yep. And just make sure you're not careless here. This is, it's easy to get careless in round 1. You have so many holes in front of you. But last round in the heated battle, make sure you just take care of what you need to take care of. But
That's about the putt we saw him miss in round 1.
so look at this. We are about to have a 4-way tie at the top with Kevin, Alden, Paul, and Calvin all at 17 under.
Wow.
Alden Harris, folks, is tied for the lead in Elite Series. Kevin, never having won from behind in an Elite Series. Calvin, who's just been right there and not sealed the deal in quite some time. His last standalone non-match play, non-last round canceled win was in 2020 at this event. And how many times has he been right there with the lead or within a stroke in the last round? I mean, this is crazy.
I can't believe what we just saw, given the first three, what we saw from McBeth on the first three. And now he sits at 1 under after those holes. That is crazy.
Wild.
And Alden's just kind of puttering along, just getting a couple pars, and then he's like, I'm leading?
the group here. Hole 7 is a pretty simple one for these guys.
Okay, but hold on a second. Look at Kevin and Alden's scores.
They always like to tie.
If you followed round 2, Alden and Kevin tied scores through the first 15 holes of round 2.
They're looking to do it again, and I think they'll take it if it's moving them to the lead.
Yeah, no bogeys.
The problem is if they make it to a playoff, it'll never end.
True.
Look at that wind bouncing the destroyer around, but it still pushes up there, gets a good skip. I think that's fantastic.
I mean, look how much torque that disc can hold. That's crazy. How the technology these days, you can just back in the day, you didn't have discs that could go this far that could hold that sort of torque in this wind. And
Through
look
the
at
wind,
and look how far these are going. Like, it's insane.
Forced to go to the big hyzer. He's going to look for a favorable bounce here, I think.
Oh, man. Made it all the way to the gates. But
Tough to get through there.
yeah, it is so tough. You got to be over here in this angle that Kevin has. I don't know if he has. Oh, yeah, he does. He has enough distance. My goodness, that was
He's
good.
saying, Alden, you better make a putt if you want to come on the train.
Calvin, good angle, good distance, good look for the birdie. Paul doesn't like it.
Wow, long.
Don't blame him.
Way long. He may still have a look, but
Haven't seen too many efforts from back there. You see a lot from this range where Alden just missed his putt. But very rarely do we see him coming back.
no way.
What?
Cut through. I don't even want to see it.
Oh, boy. Another bad break.
Whoa. Well, to be fair, he did say he's tired of playing good.
Good birdie there. Okay, well, Paul is playing with two completely different personalities this round.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Coming back on hole 8, par 3, 324 feet, tucked behind these trees on the right. Distance control is paramount here. As you see, it is just so tight to the trees. If you're a little short, you've got nothing. If you try to be too safe, you'll be 50 long on the elevated basket, looking at a very tricky putt.
I feel like anything left side of this basket outside of 15 to 20 feet is really hard for some reason. With the way that the green is like shaped And with those back trees,
Yeah.
for some reason, it just gets so swirly.
And I think Kevin's putt might be kind of a low ceiling from there.
Yes.
Even though he's pretty close.
And
That's
Calvin's as
probably-
well.
Probably also a little
Yeah.
obstructed. Very makeable, but a little bit tricky.
When we talk about the muskets, this is certainly one of them. This is the second easiest. 54% of the field taking birdie. 2.5 average. This is the last round half to birdie hole.
I like the height. Don't roll.
Gosh,
Okay,
if that rolls
jeez.
away.
I was thinking it. I'm
Yeah.
like, is he gonna hit this
Well,
thing?
he hit the base like a couple of years ago on lead card coverage. This is not the first time he's done this. I mean, he's going to dial this in and ace it in the next couple of years.
I guarantee he was at the tee waiting to see his disc
Yeah.
rolling back down. After you hear it, you just wait. You're like, all right.
So that's going to be a disappointing miss for Alden. And see if Kevin can. Oh, that's a super putt.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Great spin. Through the wind, no problem.
Edge of circle with the obstructed limbs. Yeah, he's given the head bob and the fist pumps. He knows how good that was. Calvin with that very direct, kind of that laser putt. He's able to putt low ceilings. A little bit less affected than other players.
Yep. And Calvin and Kevin are tied for the lead. McBeth is going to only be one back after a couple of pretty bad breaks.
Yeah, that
Oh, gosh.
Oh my gosh.
it's just
Can't buy one right now. They're making him sweat.
the roller coaster 2 under thus far.
That was crazy. That thing looked like it was about to hang up in the chains and just fall right back out to him. Looking at the gap of hole 9 now. Par 4, 750 feet. There's one tree that you'll be able to see from the tee pad that these guys need to avoid, assuming they hit that first gap, and then you're always set up with a blind and very tricky upshot. The green is very fast on the backside. A lot of flip. This is gonna not get. This isn't much distance. It's okay position. It's just short, I think, of what he would like.
Yeah, fortunately for Kevin, he is an athlete. He can throw very, very far, but that is, like you said, well out of position. Calvin rarely ever out of position, and he's not going to be out of position now. That is enormous.
Kevin's going to be running up that hill. Anybody want to take a bet whether he falls down and parks it? I'm willing to
I won't take any action there, dude. That is a 90% chance, I think. Few players have been really committing themselves to their shots. We've seen Paul fall down quite a bit. Ricky is another player that I can think of.
Anybody ever seen a kicker running in touchdowns like that? Were you guys surprised?
I think that maybe that was some high school footage. I can't imagine they had him.
You watch his soccer highlights too. You're just blown away this guy's athletic skill.
Yeah, you're
It's
supposed to
amazing.
kick it, and he's just
I was like, I've got to
Never.
put the team on my back.
Wow. Okay, so he's challenging that right side of the green and gets away. Gonna have circle 2 look, I think, for birdie.
I think he's past the low ceiling part, so he's probably got a decent chance. That needs to stop, and it kind of did.
Yeah.
Wow, how did that even get through there?
well, the course gives and takes. He deserved that one.
Yeah.
I think.
Constantly
Yeah, or takes.
and takes. You know, as they
Oh.
say, the course takes and it takes. That's
That
It
was
does.
fantastic.
really nice.
Beautiful. Right under.
Calvin, he's going to look to play quite left to really avoid. That's as good as you can throw that shot. And look at the backspin back to the pin at the end. He challenged the limbs on the right side as close as you can. Just awesome.
Yeah, all of those upshots were pretty great. I mean, Kevin was a little out of position, but these other 3 guys, wow. See if they can close the deal.
Yes.
That's a great putt.
What a strange and fun and fantastic and awful and brilliant front nine from Paul McBeth.
I know a lot of people who could have gotten those same breaks, and it's not going to be followed by a few birdies.
No. Whoops.
I mean, look at that win. That
Yeah.
flag is just ripping. And now it's going the opposite way. Literally.
It just seems like a whoops when you see how easy Paul and Calvin's putts seemed. They weren't easy at all. They were really great nose angles with great pace behind them.
If you're going to say it seems like a whoops with that, then my career's a whoops.
And that's hard to hear.
Compared to Paul and Calvin, my career is a whoopsie daisy.
It's a hard thing to realize, sitting here now, but hey.
I get your point.
Well, not much has really changed on the leaderboard except for Gannon Burr moving up quite a bit right there. He is on 4th card, but he is putting together a very solid round as we speak. 4th card, man, if somebody were to do something special from 4th card and win this tournament,
wow.
I'd never have heard of anything outside chase card.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Maybe one time I've ever heard of a 3rd card, but a 4th card coming in. I mean, this tournament is so tight that this could be an event where something like that could happen.
Yeah, they could write books about you, Gannon. Get on it.
Well, we are almost done, folks. We have 9 holes left at Jonesboro before we have a winner here in Arkansas, right? Isn't that right? Arkansas?
That's perfect pronunciation.
Arkansas, Kansas. Love this place.
It's going to be great. No idea who's going to take this one down. Come on back and see for yourself. Final 9 holes coming right up.